Hi, everyone. Welcome into the final edition of Off Air for the month of February, brought to you by Food City. Casey, Kristen here once again. Hard to believe February ends Friday.
I know. It went by really fast, and yet it didn't.
Well, it's the shortest month of the year.
Well, that too.
Only 28 days.
But that's not the reason.
Why?
I just feel like we were really busy. I was really
busy.
busy.
You a little more than me. I mean, you were covering the Boswell trial, which,
yes.
yeah.
Which feels like forever ago, by the way. But also,
it's been
not.
2 weeks.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
it's been over for 2 weeks, and Kristen's like, it was like 2 years ago. So, March Madness right around the corner.
Oh,
Madness
I know
of
you're
March.
excited about that.
Oh, I can't wait. We'll talk about that maybe a little bit later in the show. But last week, we'll start with
your birthday.
Birthday, yes. Of course, last week's podcast we filmed it on my birthday. This week, I'll kind of recap. Went home to Pittsburgh last weekend for a little belated birthday celebration.
How fun.
It was. I thought I was going to go home and have a little family dinner with about maybe 10 people or so. And then the next day we were going to go to the Penguins hockey game. So I thought that'd be great. Maybe see some other friends, family. And then I found out that I was the victim of a surprise party.
Woohoo!
Yes. So my family, my mom, my brother, my wife, Kelly, they all got together in cahoots and put together a surprise 40th birthday party for me.
Were there 40 people?
There was not. It was about 21 or 22 people, I think. But I only thought there was maybe 10 of people were going to come over, or 8 or 10 people were coming over for dinner, and then ended up being double that. And so some people certainly were not expecting to be there.
So did you just show up to your house and all of a sudden all these people were there, or how did that go?
Well, where my mom lives, she lives in a tower, kind of like an apartment, and they have a party room on the very top floor that you can rent out if you live there for big events or whatever. So what was told to me was, hey, we're going to have the dinner upstairs because, again, it was going to be 10 or 11 people. And my mom's like, we'll just have more room up there instead of trying to cram everybody into her kitchen or dining room area.
And you weren't suspicious?
I was not at all. I mean, that morning, me and my brother went to go watch my little cousin play hockey. And
that's cute.
Yeah, Kelly and my mom's like, oh, we're going to go have a brunch with your aunt. So I was like, okay, little girls' time or whatever. Well, they ended up they were getting balloons and party favors, stuff like that. My brother, of course, was in on it. My cousin was, because he's like, hey, why don't you come to the hockey game? And he was like, that could be a good excuse to get him out of the house and not, and then we're like, well, do we need any help? Do you guys need help upstairs getting ready for dinner? Like, no, we got it. So, Kelly and I, we were watching TV, and my mom and brother went upstairs at an hour before. And then they're like, my Kelly's like, yeah, everyone, is here. We can go up and eat now. I was like, okay. So walked up and I was like, oh, there's way more people here. So they did a great job. They got me. I was thoroughly surprised. And I had a great time. Saw some people, again, that I was not expecting to be there. So it was really nice to have a lot of people that I care about in one room at the same time.
That is so sweet. We surprised you on a birthday a couple years ago too. You're just easy to surprise. You're an easy person to surprise for a surprise party.
That was at Pins and Friends.
Yeah, it's you don't ever question anything. You just go with it.
That one I did question though a little bit because where we were going, just a little. Yes, what it was. Yeah, I think it was Kelly and I. We went out to dinner. And then she was like, oh, we're going to go to some comedy show in Bristol. I was like, okay. And then we parked way further down. Why did you park all the way down here? And she's like, oh, don't worry about it. I just want to walk. And then we walked into Pins and Friends, and that's where you guys were all there.
Yeah.
So that one I was a little more suspicious about. This one I was not at all. And then afterwards, you all look back, oh yeah, maybe that was kind of weird. My brother made all this food, and he made baked ziti and meatballs for everybody. And he had all these meatballs in a big crock pot. And I saw it, and it never occurred to me. I'm like, oh, maybe that was odd that he made all those meatballs for 8 people. And I should have known that maybe alarm bells go off that there might be more than 8 people coming, but completely.
You're just hungry.
We're just leftovers. We're going to take leftovers back or something like that. So, yeah, looking back, I'm like, oh, yeah, that probably was. I should have seen that. But no, I was completely surprised.
Look at your brother making ziti and meatballs, too.
He's a great cook.
Yeah,
fantastic
that's
cook.
Awesome.
Yeah, he made that for, so 20
Sounds
people.
Good.
And
should have brought me some.
We brought some back, but it's already gone. My favorite dessert, I never was a cake for my birthday person. I always wanted my mom's homemade apple pie.
And she made one for that?
She made one.
Wait, did you have to share it with everybody?
Yeah, see, here's the thing. So there's
20
some people there. So there was an apple pie. There was a pecan or pecan, however you say it, a pecan pie. My mom makes those really good too. And then my brother made a chocolate mousse type pie as well. So there were 3 pies, 8 slices each, put them all out there. But obviously people like my cousin,
They all went for the others.
no, my cousin loves my mom's apple pie. I have 2 cousins that know. My one cousin ran up there to get his piece of apple pie. So mom saved me one. She's like, you're not going to put out one for you. So I did get one piece of the apple pie. But yeah, everybody.
Wow.
Yeah.
How nice.
And you gotten to try it in the past. Mom's apple pie.
I sure did. It's the best ever, actually.
When I think it was at Thanksgiving, I think we might have touched on this. Yeah. She was like, you have to let Kristen try this on the podcast. So I surprised you with that.
Mama Goetz is the best.
A couple of months ago. So yeah, we had a good time, and we did go to the hockey game on Sunday. That was the whole ruse that was given to me why we were going to Pittsburgh. Mainly was go to the hockey game. Well, that turns out that was just kind of a way to get me up there, the party. But we actually did still go to the game as well on Sunday. The Penguins lost; they stink, but we had a good time. I hadn't been to a Penguins game in probably 6 or 7 years. So it was fun. Kelly, it was first time her, being in a Penguins game. And, but yeah, we had a good time. Me and her, my mom and brother, the 4 of us went to the game. Like I said, they lost to the New York Rangers, but we still had a good time.
Good. Yeah. Yay. What a fun trip.
It was. And then you took a little shorter trip for work earlier this week, a place you've been many times before, Dollywood.
Yeah. Back to Dollywood.
Why this time? What's going on?
Well, so every year, normally what they do is around this time in February, it's pretty much always in February, during the off season, they always do some kind of media construction tour. And the past few years that I've gone to the construction tour, it's been for things like Heart Song, the lodge and resort that they opened. Or we've done construction tours for the Wildwood Grove section of the park that they built fairly recently. Or, Big Bear Mountain, when that was under construction. We get to kind of see a few things and see the construction process. And they even provide interviews with people that are like working to make it all happen. So it's kind of neat. This year, they're working on 114 things right now in the off season.
How many?
114 projects. And they have 60 days to complete it. That's from when they close.
They're only closed for 2 months, to
when they reopen.
It's like what, like first or second week of January, they're open for the Christmas festivals time of the year.
And they're slowly, that window has become shorter and shorter because what's interesting about Dollywood too is a lot of people come for Christmas, so they get to stay open later than a lot of places would. But so this construction tour, we got to see some of the new things that they're working on, which includes a new parking lot. They're going to add 750 new spaces. So for those people that have ever been to Dollywood on a very busy Saturday or Sunday, that is much needed.
And that is because last year they had to turn people away, right? That was
I don't know that. I'm not sure if they turn people. I don't remember that. They might have. You might be right. But I do remember them saying that a lot of the times people have to park at Splash Country or somewhere else and be bussed in because that's how busy it was. So they're making a new parking lot, 750 new spaces. Hopefully that will help ease some of the traffic congestion there. And then they're also working on a new restaurant that opens in May. That's going to have some really delicious items. We also got to taste. Of course, we got to taste all the items. And then they had, not all of them, but most of them. And then they're working on the country fair section of the park, which is the kid area, the smaller rides and things like that. But they're going to put in a splash pad. And then they're also putting some more seating area and shade for the parents, which is very nice. And that's just some of it. They're also doing new seats for the theater and repainting things, adding new structures. So a lot goes into making everything happen
in a short amount of time.
Opening because you look at it and we'll show some of the pictures for you. And you're all I see is gravel and wood and paint everywhere and things aren't finished. And Dollywood opens on March 14th. So it's how is this going to be done? But I'll tell you what, you'll go opening day and you'll never know. It'll be finished. Somehow. It's magic. I'm
going to give a shout out on your behalf to Wes Ramey, who works at Dollywood. Used to work at BMS here. We've talked about him in the past. But this media tour was supposed to be last week when it was freezing Thursday. Cold. And they did you all, and obviously themselves, they were able to show up a solid by postponing it, and then it was much better weather when you went earlier this week.
Oh my gosh, it was perfect. It was perfect weather. We couldn't have asked for better. And we actually did the entire loop of the park. Like, we didn't go all the way up to Wildwood Grove, if you're familiar, but we did the entire loop. And, we're carrying equipment. Like, we this time are smart and brought a wagon, but we had a tripod and a camera and lights and all those things. And so you're carrying that normally through the park, just carrying it. But this time we brought a wagon. But we walked the entire loop to look at everything that they're doing. So it was nice that we had beautiful weather and it was sunshiny and great. And the food was delicious too.
So if you want to impress one with a trivia question, right? The only month of the entire year that Dollywood is not open a single day is February. Is that correct? Because it's open some days in January, then it opens in March. So February is the only
full month
that it is not open.
But it's not really a full month.
28 days. And of course, my birthday's in February.
Yeah.
I've always told Jeff about that.
You don't get a full month.
I don't get a full birthday month. Yeah, I get every 4 years. I get 29 days when it's leap year.
Man. They're just.
But you have May. You get 31 days in May.
That's true.
So just think about it. Every year you've had a birthday. That's 2 to 3 extra days. You get a birthday month that I have never gotten.
I've never had a surprise party though. So there you go.
Well, you're younger than me, so you still hope for you. Yes.
Maybe.
Yeah. Still plenty of time for you. I never had one until my late 30s. So you're not close to that yet.
There you go. Well, speaking of Dollywood, since we're on the topic, you can't go to Dollywood without stopping at Buc-ee's.
Buc-ee's.
Your favorite. So
yes.
I did bring us a snack
from Buc-ee's. Oh, okay.
And so this week's snack, if I don't fall off this
brought to you by Buc-ee's.
Brought to you by Buc-ee's. I brought chocolate covered beaver nuggets.
Ooh.
Have you had them?
No.
Have you had the beaver nugget?
No.
So the beaver nugget is like their signature item.
Like a chicken nugget?
Ew, no. It's like honestly, well, I'll let you try it. It's a snack.
Oh,
it's
okay.
like a chip or, like it would be in the chip aisle.
Like a
or
plantain.
Like that. Would you eat chicken nuggets if they came in a bag like this?
I didn't know if it was cooked or not,
Okay, so this is chocolate covered chicken nuggets?
I'm sure they're out there somewhere.
Did you think it was like real beaver?
I thought maybe it was real beaver, like a chicken nugget. I don't know. I've never had them.
No. Okay, it's just named that.
All
It says, we've taken our beloved beaver nuggets and upped the ante by covering them in creamy milk chocolate obtained by sustainably sourced cocoa beans. The result, a decadent treat with the perfect mix of texture and flavor. Didn't think beaver nuggets could get any better? Well, think again.
Adding chocolate.
Yeah, I should have brought the regular too. I didn't know. And I will say, this is open a little because my 5-year-old grubby paws, she got on it, but she didn't get any because I was like, no, that's for the podcast. So
I thought you were going to say that your dog might have got on
No.
chewing it.
She didn't get into it, and Riley didn't get into it.
Okay.
She just tried to.
Okay.
But I told her.
Yeah, I've never had. So. We'll save some for Riley.
Yeah.
I've never.
The whole bag
no, I'm not going to do that. Oh, a 3.
Right. They look interesting.
I taste the chocolate.
Do you taste the beaver?
No. I got the caramel. A little caramel in there, maybe.
So, I think the best way to describe a beaver nugget without the chocolate, these are really good. It's kind of like a cereal. Almost like a cereal, but like sweeter.
What kind of cereal?
Like a mix between like a corn puff and but sweeter.
Okay.
But yeah, I think you're right. I think there's like some caramel. What do you think? 1 to 10. Beaver nugget, chocolate covered beaver.
Well, I've never had an original beaver nugget, so I can't. On the chocolate one, I'll say a 6 out of 10.
6 out of 10.
Yeah.
Okay. It's not bad.
Yeah. Where are you going with?
10.
I mean, you've had beaver nuggets before, but never chocolate before?
Yeah, I do think that chocolate, these might be better than... it's just hard. Like the original or just like a
chocolate's very
snack.
Overwhelming to it. It adds...
This is rich.
Yeah. There you go. That's a good word.
Rich. Yeah. Yeah, 6 out of 10 is probably good. I agree with you on that.
Okay. That might be the first time we've ever had an agreement on rating the food, drink, snack that we've had here.
Yeah.
Okay.
There we go.
Well, we got March
Cookies.
Madness, like I said, coming up. So, I mean, it's a big time of the year for that. So even people that aren't sports fans, casual sports fan, everyone gets in on March Madness and will pay attention. So that'll be here before you know it. I want to wish all the
We're gonna make a bracket.
Yeah, maybe we'll do one on air. We'll do one here on the
Mhm.
podcast. We'll
Okay.
do an off-air podcast. Maybe open up to the loyal viewers out there, and you can
win a beaver nugget, a chocolate covered beaver nugget.
Well, I don't know. We'll have some more like you can. I don't know. We'll get Ethan, our podcast extraordinaire producer, maybe some ideas about how we can start a bracket and open it up and get people who watch again to be part of it, and we'll have some fun challenge or something like a selection Sundays on March the 16th. So we're just about a little over 2 weeks out. That's when the bracket will be out.
What day is that of the week?
Well, it's always on a Sunday.
There you go.
Yeah, that's easy. I mean, March, the bracket always comes out on Sunday for men's basketball.
We should tell people about your superpower.
It's not a superpower. It is
a superpower.
It is just
weird,
a useless
and it's a superpower.
A useless thing that I do, and for some reason you find it funny.
The useless thing that I can do is like say my alphabet backwards. Like that's all I got. What Casey has is he's Mr. Dates. And what we don't mean is like he's good at taking Kelly on dates. What we mean is that you can tell him any day of the year and he can tell you what day of the week that falls on, which I think is incredible because I cannot do that. Like I couldn't tell you, I was thinking about the other day. My birthday is May 11th this year. No idea what day of the week it is.
Yeah.
Do you know?
I mean, May 11th, I believe is a Sunday.
See, there you go.
Check it out. You gotta
all right.
Fact check me here.
Let's check it. Pulling up the calendar. May 11th. Sunday. See? It's weird. It's crazy.
You can figure it out.
No, I can't. I can't do that. That's not how my brain works. That's not how anybody's brain works. It's a superpower. That's a superpower.
But if it is, if I even would say that is my superpower, it is so low on the list of what I wish I could have as a superpower. Like if you ask, like I could have a superpower, knowing that what day of the week a date is would be like 1,048th on the list.
Okay, if you did have a superpower, what would it be?
Like we're talking about like flying,
anything you want.
Anything you want.
But just one.
Just one superpower.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if I get like too deep into this, or it's like there could be a lot. I would think like I would like to be able to know what anybody is thinking at any time.
Really?
Like think about
that's what you pick.
Well, like so like any situations, like what you're getting. I mean, I don't.
That would be terrible. I don't want to know what you guys are thinking ever.
Like, Bobby, were you like fly? I mean, I don't.
I think you would be disappointed in a lot of people.
Well, what's yours?
I don't know. So I would either want to teleport at any time or invisibility. Like the
like you can become invisible.
Like I have a Harry Potter cloak that I put on and I'm invisible.
Okay.
So I could like walk around and like be invisible.
But other people know that? I mean, people would know like, hey, like you gotta watch out, Kristen could be here. Like
no, like well, I mean
like no one would know your superpower.
No one would know. Yeah, no one would know. I would just be invisible and I could like go do whatever I needed to do. Mm-hmm. And like if I was short on some money, I could like go to the bank, grab a couple 20s, leave. No, I'm just kidding. That's terrible.
Superpower, I want to rob banks.
Be like, what? They'd be like, wow, Kristen's really rich all
but in a nice way, because I won't hurt anybody. I just go in and whoop. Invisible. Exactly. No one knows I'm there. No one gets hurt.
Exactly.
Yeah, okay.
But teleporting would also be cool because like I could be like, this is enough. Work is too much. And then I'm in a beach in Aruba.
I want to go home. Boom. Snap my fingers on
that. Yeah. Can you imagine? Like,
all right, that might be pretty good. You might talk into that.
Yeah. It's a lot better than what you picked.
Well, I mean, I think every time, if you get, or like if you know the future, you can get a lottery.
You mean ticket. Like know the future? That's different than knowing what everyone thinks.
Knowing the future. Like, get some lottery tickets, and then all right, that I can win the money.
Now that's an acceptable answer.
Okay, now it probably would only work once because after you did that, they might be like, be on to this guy here. This random guy knew the lottery numbers exactly. Because usually I would imagine when people win the lottery, the machine, you could pick your own numbers, but the machine just
Well, sometimes they do though.
random. Yeah, but I mean, that would be pretty crazy if you pick.
Or you could just like go to the casino in Bristol.
Yeah, there you go.
And you could just sit at a table, but like watch it and then rewind time and then go back and you know what's going to happen.
Oh, they would love that over there at the casino.
But they wouldn't know that because you would.
Then you get on the list and they'd be like, you're not allowed back. You win
You'd
too
be
much.
on the VIP list. They'd give you some like black card and you can go like, and then you can go to Aruba.
Then
So
you
either
go to
way,
Aruba.
for free.
Yeah, that's true.
There you go. So I don't even know how we got on that conversation.
Superpowers.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
how did that happen? Anywho, we're excited about March Madness.
We are, yes. As a long roundabout detour. Of course, you got, obviously the high school playoffs are going on right now on both sides of the state line. You're getting close to the state ETSU. Next week, ETSU will have their conference tournament in Asheville. I know that's a big, exciting time for a lot of ETSU fans.
Are you going to go?
Probably not. I used to go all the time when I did sports.
You used to go all the time.
Yeah, covered it. Love going over to Asheville. It's such an easy trip from the station. It's an hour and 10 minutes, hour and 15 minutes to the arena down there. But no, it's been, I guess, the last 2 years. I don't think I've been. I will certainly watch it, on TV or maybe who knows. Maybe last year they made it to the championship game. But yeah, I mean, Heather and Cole, one or both of them will be there, or if not both, depending on how things go. But the women, I believe, will play on Thursday of next week, and that'll be their first game. The men will not be until next Saturday. Will be their first game. And also, I think it's the first time we're in Johnson City. Remember, they're hosting the Big South tournament at Freedom Hall, which is like the UNC Asheville, Radford, like that conference. They're having their conference tournament at Freedom Hall. So if you are a basketball junkie, you want to see some basketball live, you go to Freedom Hall next week. Go there. And you can see it's a little bit closer. But again, I mean, there's the men's coach at UNC Asheville is Mike Morrell. He's an Elizabethton native. I believe he went to Elizabethton High School.
Oh.
He's been the coach at Asheville for a while. He's taken him to the NCAA tournament a few times. So now that's one local connection. Ethan, our producer of this podcast, he's Radford plays there. I mean, he, went to Virginia Tech, but I think he knows some people at Radford, and he mentioned he might want to check Radford out next week. So yeah, that's also going to be going on. That the men's and women's is happening at Freedom Hall in the Big South, while the SoCon that ETSU will be playing in will be just over the mountain there in Asheville. So yeah, that a lot of basketball options next week, and then like the big conferences the week after is when they have their conference, like the SEC, the ACC, those teams and leagues will have their conference tournament the week after that, and then it'll be March Madness. Yeah, we'll do a bracket, and we'll have more on that, a couple of weeks, and we'll get some way if you guys want to participate, and we'll have an off-air podcast bracket challenge. We'll come up with something and have a lot of fun.
Sounds good to me.
All right, so we're going to wrap it up for this week on Off Air. Again, thanks to Food City for sponsoring the podcast. Our final one of the month of February. Next week, we'll be back with our first for the month of March.